be okay. It depends how like early they fall behind, but if he has bots, plus Veil or any other item, I think he can recover pretty quickly.
It really depends on the enemy catch too. Like they have pretty
Yeah.
good catch right now from like the Legion Commander and even the Night Stalker and the Vision and stuff. So I think you'd have a hard time catching up in this game.
Alrighty, well, here we go. Game number 1 of this semifinals, best of 3. We'll see who takes it. We've got Annie and Purge to cast this one.
Thank you very much, Zyori. Excited for this. We are getting close to the end of the tournament, but still lots of action to go. Purge, how are you feeling about these drafts?
It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I do agree that the Ursa mid is very effective, especially against Ember in the mid lane. It's going to be tough for Fnatic, but I could see some good stuff happening with the Axe pick. I think it's very effective against a lot of what Newbee's running, especially because the pure damage, and as long as he catches a bunch of people on a call, it could lead to good stuff.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I don't know. We'll see how they match up. I'm not super confident either way which team is going to win, and I think it's going to be a really good game as well. Both these teams are really stacked right now.
yeah, I'm curious how this Ursa is going to be doing mid. I just don't see it a lot. Like you guys mentioned in the draft, really, really good against that Ember Spirit. QO should have a tough time, but I saw a couple of Ursas run today in the Galaxy Battle qualifiers, and they just got dumpstered. They had a couple of early kills, but then just totally fizzled out. Is that part of the meta, or is that just not running the Ursa right?
Were they against somebody, like, what hero were they against in their matchup?
They were, both of them I saw were safe laning, and one was against a Magnus and ended up dumpstering the Magnus, like got 2 or 3 kills in the lane, but then just totally fell off, didn't have any impact after that.
Yeah, that's always something you have to worry about with Ursa, that you will fall off a little bit harder just because you need to keep your tempo up, ideally a fast-ish Blink Dagger, or try to take Roche a couple times. And he definitely does fall off a bit late game, that's for sure, because as a hero, the way that he kind of works is he jumps in, ideally kills somebody right away, disengages, and re-jumps in multiple times. It's kind of like, I don't know, tiny-ish playstyle in that way. So he's very reliant on getting a kill in his first couple hits, not being chain disabled after he goes in, and ideally not feeding too much. Because in the ultra late game scenarios, yeah, there's definitely better heroes for carries, even if Ursa still does hit very hard. So could go lots of ways, but I have a lot of faith in SCCC. He's very good at snowballing and doesn't make too many mistakes, so could work out still.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of pacing of the game, does Newbee just want to be getting active way earlier than Fnatic, or Fnatic content just to sit back and farm as long as they'll let them?
I mean, I agree that Newbee can definitely party a lot earlier, just because Fnatic is very reliant on Axe's Blink Dagger until Axe becomes effective. But I could see Ember definitely getting a lot done. The panel guys talked about catch up for Ember, and I think he is actually very good at catching up, because with just levels, he has a lot of damage output and a lot of mobility, and those are the kind of things that you need to actually just get kills on heroes that might be more farmed than you. So I could definitely see Fnatic stabilizing effectively in the early mid game, just with like Troll and the other 3 heroes, while Axe farms Blink, but I could see it going the other way as well. Just kind of comes on the laning stage. And speaking of the laning stage, so offlane Legion Commander versus a Rubik, and against, what is this, a safe lane Ember? No, they're going to swap it up actually. Troll's going to be mid against the Ursa. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
it's kind of bad.
Somehow.
It's kind of bad to put Ember in the safe lane generally. He has some mana problems that way, but we'll see how he stabilizes with it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how the Troll's going to be doing mid. Usually we see him just parked in the safe lane, sitting back, farming up. He'll come at you with an S and Y and start doing some damage, but he's going to have to get active early. Are Fnatic supports going to have to kind of guard him up, or should he be able to survive?
Against an Ursa, it's definitely dangerous. They could easily kill Ursa as well. Ursa can have some survivability issues if you get aggressive on him. So I could definitely see a Rubik gank with Nyx Assassin, and it could be effective at killing him, especially if he's pre-6, is definitely the place to aim. But killing Troll is going to be tough for him once he gets Whirling Axes up, because there's going to be the mischance. Mischance and evasion aren't the best solution against Ursa, but they do help a lot.
All right, now, yesterday in Fnatic series, we saw QO get just chain killed over and over when he was playing Naga Siren, and Drask was talking about how Naga's just not really a hero that fits QO's playstyle. And then the third game he picked Phantom Lancer and dominated. He did so amazing in the mid and totally carried his game to freedom. So, I mean, QO on the Ember, is that a hero you think is going to work for him?
Yeah, I think it definitely fits his playstyle. It's similar to Queen of Pain, kind of. You just run at your opponent and get a lot done, pretty much. He's always been into heroes like that, TA, Queen of Pain, aggressive heroes that have a lot of high skill potential. That's Ember Spirit down to a T. I was a little surprised. I didn't expect you to say that about Phantom Lancer, but I guess Phantom Lancer has been buffed in a couple ways, so
did
maybe
so
it fits.
good. Yeah, it was beyond godlike, and it was a pretty quick end. Just had a couple of nice ganks in the mid. And speaking of ganks in the mid, like you talked about, Nyx goes right on through, and they will get some harass onto SCCC, but with Faith coming in, Jake's actually
really
one in
dangerous.
trouble. Can they get the kill here? Need a couple more swipes. Faith wrapping around 2 seconds to the frostbite, but yay, CM nerfed movement speed. She just can't catch up.
All right,
Febby.
Febby's gonna die too now, 100%.
Yep.
Frostbite comes through, and yeah, that was not the right way for Febby to run. If he shouldn't have kept going to Roche, he should have ran anywhere else, because by going to Roche, he basically committed that Crystal Maiden would get Frostbite off, and if he ran another way, SCC would have been able to chase, but he had a boots advantage, so the Overvenom would have been slightly offset, but not fully. So kind of a big mistake there by him, but it was a good attempt to harass at the start, and basically that's where CM is effective. Show up at a place where people don't expect you, and you add a little bit of disable into the right hero for the right time.
Absolutely. I mean, are we going to see ganks like that over and over, or is Nyx going to kind of learn his lesson on that?
Febby's very much a roaming player, so he'll be pretty much wherever it feels most effective. So he'll be bottom sometimes, he'll be mid sometimes, and maybe even looking for CM occasionally.
Yep, so a little misstep at the start, but Troll Warlord going to go back. He's holding his own here. And Ursa just going to be farming up in terms of last hits. Ember Spirit having a really fun time in the safe lane. And so far, mid laners are relatively even.
Yep, it's decent for them. The first blood obviously making a big difference. And Troll's probably just going to play in range mode most of this time, because if he's in melee, he has to worry about Troll or the Ursa getting in. So I think the lane really to watch is maybe how well Legion Commander does, messing with creeps on the top lane, and how well Axe does, gaining levels and harassing the Juggernaut. It's a decent matchup for Axe, I would say. It has kill potential kind of both ways, but considering he's in the solo off lane, there's lots of disable heroes. He's got to be a little careful.
Yeah, he's going to get some super quick levels. And we talked about Newbee getting active early, and with that Night Stalker, first nighttime going to be a big benchmark for Newbee. What does Night Stalker have to do during that nighttime for it to be successful? Does he have to get a kill, or just some movements and scaring back Fnatic?
Yeah, absolutely. A kill is definitely the minimum that you'd look for as a Night Stalker. Maybe look for heroes like Ember Spirit as pressure, or squishy heroes like Rubik would be a good go for. A good thing to grab, but he's got to get some levels to get there in the first place. And right now, he's kind of just hanging out in the lane in case he needs a slow on Axe. And Ohio's doing a great job getting levels this game, considering that there's kind of been a tri-lane down here, at least partially. I guess it's been dual lanes back and forth, but I would say Axe is doing very well.
Yeah, when I saw that Axe pickup, I'm like, oh my goodness, there are already so many melee heroes, and then Newbee finished out their draft with more melee heroes. They picked up the Ursa last. I mean, is Ohio just going to totally thrive on that, or does Axe still have some trouble against this draft?
All comes down to how grouped they are. Like, just because they're all melees doesn't mean you're necessarily going to grab a four-man call or something like that. So it'll still be situational. Might be Ajit's dead.
Oh, man, I was looking top, but yeah, Ajit goes down, SCCC chases him through, and now up top, QO will find the kill onto KP. That Legion Commander just pushed up a little bit too far. Got a little cocky, blocking the wave, doing some damage, but QO still able to finish him off. 2 versus 1,
And that's basically Legion's skill build, actually. He didn't have press the attacks. That meant the Searing Chains that the Ember throws that actually lasted for full duration. Whereas normally, if you put that down, he just instantly removes it and starts walking away. So I'm sure that made a big difference there.
Yeah, I mean, is this a typical build for the Legion? Usually you see at least the value point and press the attack, sometimes before the moment of courage.
Yeah, usually, but he probably feels semi-comfortable in his lane, and it's better for him to grab 2 points in overwhelming. That way he can do more aggressive damage. Probably felt semi-comfortable. Now he's got it, but yeah, it might have been more beneficial early.
Yep. Back towards our mid. Troll Warlord, like you mentioned, just staying in that range form, able to punch up the Ursa, and he's recovering in terms of farm. The first wave was a little bit brutal, but he's back in it. Now, rotation
and the gank.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That
was
TP
so close.
was so close. Nyx Assassin gets back to the well with a scratch of health. Now down bottom, Radiant, they're looking to get active here. That's that first nighttime. Kaka waiting in the river. He's got that 1 point in Void. We'll see how deep he's going to be going on to Axe here. Axe pushed out pretty far.
Still pretty hard to kill, though. I mean, CM does very, very little right-click damage. I mean, the Night Stalker can hit him as well, but it's a little scary.
Yeah.
Most of their damage is basically just what the CM spells and a Jug Spin is a lot of it.
And they're wrapping around, but it's taking a while. Are they even going to go in this, or is Kaka just kind of stand around? Because it's the first nighttime. He has to get active.
It's partially the threat, and it's also partially just staying in position if needed, is kind of how it works out.
Oh, there's the
Fate's
Frostbite.
going to do a little damage.
All right. He took him down. He's down a quarter health. Does go for the call. A little bit of extra armor there. A bit of extra survivability. Battle Hunger onto Kaka. They want to keep diving this, but Mugi not able to catch up there with the Blade Fury. Even with the phase boots, Axe just gets a free escape.
Yeah, the crucial part was that he called before the Jug casted spin. Not that it would have like prevented the spin from going out or anything, but it kind of delayed when Jug felt like going in, and as a result, Axe could do Battle Hunger, which gave him movement speed, and then he ended up being faster than the spin was. Because again, the playing around this is very scary for this tri lane here.
Rotation in. They are going to go for the lift onto the Night Stalker, so he may die during first nighttime. That's pretty brutal. Ursa going to be snapping up a killing spree as mid lane. He does kill off the Troll Warlord again. Lots of action happening all over the map here, but like we talked about, just a really Ursa-favored mid. He's already level 7. Compare that to the Troll's level 5.
Yeah, interesting skill build too, maxing out Earthshock. Very spammable ability here.
Ooh, Febby?
Febby. Ooh, way too early to use that, but...
He'll still get away with it. They are going to give the kill there
Yeah.
to Moogie, so Juggernaut at least getting something under his belt.
Good for him. Back to the lane to get more last hits. So let's say right now that Axe is doing super well. Legion Commander's actually already 6, so technically he's doing better, but he hasn't done quite as well in terms of lane suppression. But I guess the last hits are equal, so I guess Legion's still doing good. Can he turn into kills afterwards? Not so sure about that, but I think it's important actually for Fnatic to contest this stack. There's like it's like a 4 stack right now. Ohio can kill this really easily on X, but all they need to do it is probably take a good fight where they get a kill. If they can do that and then take the stack, it's going to be a huge advantage for them. It might even be better than taking an early tower.
Yep, there are going to be the 2 supports roaming down. It looks like that's going to be a huge objective for them. Ohio getting a chance to punch onto this, but Moogie's upset. They go in. They're starting to harass back Ohio. Now he's in trouble. He does cast out the Battle Hunger. Gonna be speedy. He goes for the call to get a little bit extra survivability. Now Febby goes in. It's a double man impale. They kill off the Crystal Maiden. Ohio is still alive. Kaka chasing him down. Going, he's flapping around looking for one more last hit, but can he find it? Febby sitting back. Impale up in 2 more seconds. Oh man. Meanwhile, Legion does get the kill onto Kyo. Kaka not able to find that lockdown.
Ooh, that's a big mistake by Kyo on the safe lane. I imagine he pressed Flame Guard. I guess, no, I'm sorry, I was thinking Blade Mail. Way too early for that. But getting a dual kill against the safe lane carry is a big mistake, especially with how well that went for Fnatic. 100% that was as a result of the infused raindrop, and Axe instantly buys another one. He got 2 raindrop procs, I believe, during that fight, which is equivalent to like 180 extra HP, and that's the only reason he didn't die. So almost level 6 for him now. If they actually had that 6, the extra movement speed buff would have been insane. But they approach the lane again. Now 3, there's a lift.
Yep, they go into Moogie here. He's going to be magic immune for just a little bit longer. Chasing down the Rubik. It looks like DJ may pay the price for this. And now Febby going to be going in. No more impale for him. Already spent it out. Axe now has to try his best to body block. Daytime comes forward, so Kaka a little bit weaker. But with Faith and SCCC coming in, Febby might end up going down here. The impale will help Ohio secure the kill onto Moogie. But now Ohio has to run for the hills.
Yeah, and Ursa's super fast too. He's got phase boots, so might get caught up here.
Ohio
No,
gets
those
slowed
Trinkles
down.
will kick in at least.
Yep. So Axe still staying alive here, 3-0 for him. Let's talk about our Ember Spirit top lane though. We saw that solo kill from the Legion onto QO. I mean, QO's been left totally by himself here, which shouldn't really be a problem for the Ember. Why did he get caught by the Legion there? Was it just faulty positioning?
It's hard to say. I wasn't watching the heads up, but possibly KP was jungling on Legion and ended up showing up in the lane, getting a good nuke in. Could be a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I mean, that can't really happen again, though. Spiraling that Legion out of control, allowing the Legion to go and start that snowball. Now, speaking of snowballs, our Crystal Maiden going to be going down. Kaka goes and slaps Ohio in frustration, but they just can't kill this Axe. He's so beefy. Already halfway towards his Blink Dagger now.
They can definitely kill him, but it just takes like perfect coordination where everybody jumps on him at the same time. And CM is just not a huge damage hero in the early game. She does decent damage, but mostly spell-based, so it kind of takes a lot of focus. And Night Stalker is kind of similar. He's got Void and right clicks, but if it's not nighttime, his right clicks aren't amazing.
Yeah, Ohio
No
just
Omni Slash yet either.
Still level 5 on the Jug. He's splitting that XP pretty thin. Now they're going in again onto the Juggernaut, trying to keep him from spinning. He will be able to get back, and Axe slowed down, won't be able to go for the chase, but Moogie is effectively zoned. Like you mentioned, still level 5 on him in terms of last hits. He's, oof, man, another solo kill onto QO, and that's not going to be a dual victory, but Legion's getting feisty up here.
Yep, that's the benefit of phase boots, man. The damage output is huge here. It looks like he's really leveling up press the attack as well. I mean, I keep missing it, but again, QO making a big mistake here.
Yeah, I mean, is this a play style thing? Does Kyo just want to be with his team and can't really handle the solo farm, or is it KP just constantly punishing him for being a step out of position?
It's hard to say. I mean, QO generally plays the mid lane, so that might be some of the some of the frustration. Also, QO has historically been a bit of a thrower at various times. He's definitely improved, and he does that far less, but it definitely can affect him. And again, Ember in the safe lane. It's a weird matchup.
Oh.
And he's getting dueled again.
Yep,
He's gonna die.
he cast out the Remnant. He wanted to go harass back the Legion, but oh, with that moment of courage proc, she gets the last hit. That's going to be 20 extra duel damage for her. And Ember Spirit takes a tumble 3 times completely solo in lane. Not a great way to start that out.
That's really an understatement. That's super, super poor play from Kyo to die 3 times in a row. Like, sometimes that stuff gets out of control. The first one happens, you're like, oh, that's weird. I made a mistake, whatever. You die the second time, and then you get a little tilted. Then it happens a third time. Ugh, such a bad place to be. In the meantime, Ursa's taking Roche, Kakan, the Night Stalker's just getting experience in the mid lane. Now Fnatic's got to feel real weird, because I feel like the game is riding on their supports and their Axe right now.
Yeah,
These guys don't make a lot of magic happen. Like, if this Blink Dagger doesn't come out in the next, like, 3 minutes, it's going to be so hard for them to take good fights against Newbee.
Yeah, I mean, we see this Axe totally dominating the bot lane, but that is just a third of the map. That's a third of the pressure that needs to come out from Fnatic. And now Ohio going in pretty deep here, going to get frozen up. He does have 2 supports waiting in the wings, so just going to try to keep him back for now. Now, Juggernaut, almost level 7, so he's got the Omni Slash for the next fight, and we'll see if he's going to be casting it out. He goes for the spin, and they're going to be trying to turn this on the Axe. That's a huge kill if they can find it. Killing spree cleaned up by Mugi, and now he's looking for that jump. If he can just find DJ, and we'll be able to go. Solo Omni Slash dumped down for the Rubik support, but still definitely worthwhile. Mugi now coming online, and like you talked about, Axe's Blink Dagger timing is so crucial, but that kill is going to slow him down a ton.
And in the meantime, Ursa is able to take the mid lane. The benefit of Earthshock, you just spam this skill twice and the whole creep wave's dead. And his ability to hit towers is pretty good too.
Oh,
and another death now.
Man, this
Duel
is...
was used. He didn't get the damage though, but he's got Blink Dagger.
This is ridiculous, man. KP just totally flying here. I mean, we see QO going. He's putting remnants here, trying to keep himself safe, but just not giving enough respect to the Legion, who's ready to duel him at an opportunity. So,
He's got decent armor now, but just not enough to stay alive against all that damage.
I mean, this Ember should have had totally safe farm, but sitting 5th on the net worth chart, this Ursa totally spiraling out of control, but does need to keep his momentum going. Getting this tower is a great way to go in, and now DJ potentially going to get clipped here. Looks like KP goes forward. No duel for 6 seconds. We're just going to find a little quick kill here, but they do bring in QO as well as Febby. Febby does find the impale onto the Legion Commander, but she's so tanky now. Ursa presses forward here, might be able to find Febby, but he's under tower, and SCCC doesn't care. Now they do have the Enrage already burst out. SCCC might be in trouble, but they go in. They go for another duel. QO just can't stop dying. And now Ursa totally content if he has to burn this Aegis, but he will find another kill first. Jit rotates in from the mid lane. Aegis down, but Troll just running for the hills. As Ursa and the rest of his team are all still healthy and all still fighting.
Yeah, their heroes are really good at just running at Fnatic right now, and there's very little they can do to stop this kind of pressure. Meantime, Ohio's still trying to finish his blink. He's almost there. If he actually had a blink in that fight, they easily could have turned things, I feel. But again, the issue is that Ursa and Night Stalker and Legion, they're just going to sprint at their opponents, and they need somebody in the front line that can either disable them as they approach or to counter-initiate and try to keep them grouped up for chain disables. And that's basically Axe and the Nyx Assassin, and they need to be a little farmed to accomplish this.
Yeah, I mean, this Legion becoming an issue. What happens if Legion just doesn't die? If she just keeps scaling up, if she keeps finding duels? At what point do Fnatic stop being able to deal with her?
I mean, at some point she'll get to the point where she can just start solo dueling people and being successful. And that's definitely a big worry. DJ's going down the bot lane with an Omni Slash.
Just a little solo pick off for him. Nice goodies going his way. He is 5-1-1, so this Juggernaut that got a fair amount of pressure on him from that farmed Axe, now starting to get in there. And Fnatic, they're lacking a little bit of damage now. Troll just trying to play safe, trying to keep himself farmed up, going for the Sanj and Yasha, but Ember Spirit definitely leaving something to be desired in terms of his farm.
Absolutely. Rotating, I think, is a good way to do things. He's very close to the Veil, I think, 400 gold maybe. Nope, it's actually finished. He just has to receive it. So I think participating in fights is the way to go. He needs to be wherever the Axe blink calls, because if he gets 2, maybe 3 heroes, I think Kyo definitely throws all the remnants in and goes all in a lot of cases. Because if he can help get a double kill or a triple kill, he can get back in this game and change things. But for now, the map advantage that Newbee has is just insane. All based on this Ursa last pick, their lane advantage was there. He gets a couple solo kills. The tri-lane kind of went a little weak, but the off-lane went extremely well. So Newbee's just kind of dominating the map right now, and the pressure is not going to stop.
Yeah, I mean, Newbee feeling totally at home in this half of the map. I thought this was their shrine at first because they're just so comfortable here. but they're going to be smoked up. Probably not a movement Fnatic are expecting. Fnatic dipping into the Radiant jungle here, and looks like they may end up meeting in the middle with a smoke of their own. Who's going to run into who?
Smoke.
Yep.
Radiant has the far better ward vision.
Yep, they certainly do. There will be Searing Chains coming out. Looks like Nightstalker hits the deck immediately. The duel comes out from the Legion Commander, but she's going to get locked down by the Impale. Meanwhile, Faith chased down by that spin. DJ going to be going forward, still looking for something here. Has that stolen Blade Fury. KP getting low, is able to heal, and now, ooh, Ursa comes in and does a huge amount of damage. Look at the overwhelming odds from the Legion. They're going to turn this right back around. They will find one more kill, taking out Faith, finally that squishy Crystal Maiden. Now Ursa might just be a little bit too far in enemy territory. He's going to try to take out some heroes with him. QO once again goes down. Man, even in a numbers game, they still can't take out this Ursa. Now, Ursa.
Oh, no.
Oh my god. Okay, he lives longer than I thought he did. Fnatic, they are just
Why did he die there?
steamrolled.
I'm so confused. Did he like spin right before death or something? I thought the Ursa was completely fine. It must have been a spin.
I guess so.
But gets the kill right before he dies at least. I think that was honestly very good for them. I feel like the Spite recap's not showing the true extent of the story, but at least in that last Ursa kill, they only lost 240 gold or something like that. And there was a buyback from the Radiant side.
Definitely a little more resource intensive than Fnatic thought to kill off that Ursa. He's pretty survivable.
It was only CM at least. But
yeah.
I mean, the fight was pretty much ideal for Fnatic and always. I felt like, I don't know if the Ursa wasn't there. Was that a 4-man smoke from Newbee versus a 5-man from Fnatic? Not sure, but I would say that's a decent fight considering the circumstances. QO gets a lot of needed experience. He picks up his level 10 for his spell amp. He's going to go for Boots of Travel next, so they can start doing this again, except he doesn't necessarily have to smoke with them, which makes their resource collection while ganking a little easier.
Yeah, Boots of Travel, about 1,000 gold off for him. He should have that relatively soon. Ohio still sitting back in the jungle now. We saw him debut his Blink Dagger. He's going in for the Blade Mail next and should have it up for the next fight.
Blade Mail's really good too, especially against a hero like Ursa or Juggernaut. If you can catch Ursa before he uses Enrage, you can definitely let him kill himself on you, basically. He's going to go for a Diffusal Blade, though, which will give him some really good kite potential, and he's mostly going to use that to break flame cards.
Speaking of potential here, there's going to be a route onto QO. He's got a safety remnant popped down. He's just going to hop back before Legion Commander gets her jaws onto him. He's probably so scared of her duel.
He wanted the free healing ward hit, but fortunately he was walking away. Jug goes for an interesting build this game, SNY actually over Manta. I've done this build a long time ago, I think, and I actually really like it a lot. It makes you very, very fast, getting from camp to camp faster. And I think the way he can get away with it, it's good to be able to remove Searing Chains, but this item is really inexpensive compared to Manta. I think it's like 3,700 gold right now. And a Manta style is like 5,000 gold, 3,900 gold. So it's quite a bit cheaper than Manta right now, yet it gives you semi-comparable stats, except this one's a little bit better in terms of damage, a little bit worse for attack speed, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be able to dodge the chains like you mentioned with the Manta, but is that going to kill him? Is QO enough of a threat right now to make the Jug
Not
scared?
really. And maybe that's why, because he can also Blade Fury afterwards. So there's some really good things about SNY. Get in range of Omni Slashes, escape when they slow you a couple times. You know, movement speed can be the difference between you seeing the axe coming and getting caught in his Blink Call, for example. So SNY, maybe time to make a comeback.
Yeah, and Juggernaut, he's got that Silver Edge in his quick buy. Do you think he's going to be sticking with it, or is that going to be change of direction?
I think it's a good idea. He doesn't have the best disable, but if he picks up a Silver Edge, he can easily initiate and solo kill a lot of heroes. Not to mention because it can reduce damage output, break passive. So against like Axe, for example, it'd be a really good thing to have. Still got to worry about Blade Mail in a lot of ways, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's definitely an option. It's like a alternate to getting like a Blink Dagger in some ways. So I could see working.
Ohio, I mean, with that Blade Mail, you talked about how fantastic it is. Who's his ideal initiation? Is it just catching the Ursa before he gets off the Enrage, or are there other targets he needs to worry about? Ooh, speaking of targets, Nightstalker about to get jumped here. They're spraying everything on him. That's going to be a 5-man gank, not even needing the Culling Blade. And
there was a cancelled TP as well, so they may try to take a fight knowing that not everybody can be here, but instead they're just going to hit the tier 1.
Yeah. Just trying to get themselves some map advantage back.
Yeah, kills are the best way to do that, but only Nightstalker dying makes this a little tough. SC is rotating over. He's got Diffusal Blade ready. Yep. They're going to defend this.
They're getting ready to go. There will be Legion. Trying to see if she should move forward, but Fnatic read this really smart. They don't want to overstep their bounds here. Ember Spirit just picking up the Boots of Travel, so now can apply some split push elsewhere to see how QO is going to be moving. It looks like he's heading straight down bottom, just trying to get some more farm for himself.
Yep, creep waves sit in the tower, so time to go farm it, and then he can also jump back to his allies if a fight does begin. So it's just the typical Ember anti-split push or split push if you want to. So SCC is looking like he wants to kill Ember though. He's got an invis now. Diffusal Blade, he can instantly break the Flame Guard, so basically no chance that Ursa dies if he does go for the kill here.
He's got
But
a
he
long
will
way to
have a
go.
Remnant.
Yep. I think Legion Commander pretty crucial, at least still for now, to kill off QO, just because you need that duel to hold him down while you do the damage. And yep, immediate Remnant out. SCC tries his best, but QO joins up with his team again, and it looks like Fnatic want to go ahead and try pushing this mid lane, just wrapping around, working as 5 to take out these tier 1 towers.
Yeah, as long as they work together, I think they'll be pretty effective. They've got enough stuns where they can chain disable into disable, and now they feel a little bit out. They outmaneuver Newbee, so they'll hit the tower.
Yep, Roshan is respawning very, very soon, so both teams looking to keep good positioning in front of that pit. Tower taken down, but Newbee looking to at least give some trouble here. Kaka flying forward. See who the Night Stalker wants to jump on. Again, Ember Spirit's got the safety remnant here. He's in the top lane right now farming, but probably going to hop back with his team. Kaka scouts out that the Roche is up, and looks like Newbee just head right onto the pit. SCCC needs that next Aegis, and she's...
It's going to be very difficult to defend this here. They
Look at
spot
this.
the wards at least.
Oh.
That's actually pretty good. This
That
could give them the
sentry's so
opportunity.
close. It's not in.
They've got to go very soon.
All right, Troll comes in. They spray the dust forward. Very nice Spidey senses from him. They will be able to kill off the Nyx assassin. Now the rest of the Dire looking to fight. There's a buyback on the Nyx trying to get back in. Ohio, he goes in, tries to keep himself alive as long as possible, but does fall and buys back. Jit next to go down. Febby gets the double man impale. There's going to be that Legion Commander moving forward. Doesn't have her duel, and she's actually stuck between 4 heroes. The buybacks on Fnatic paying off as Newbee dropped 4. And now there will be a Dire Roche claimed.
Very good for them. Cost them 2 buybacks, but they should be able to get the Roshan. Really awesome for Fnatic. And I'm sure they got tons of levels. They got 6,000, almost 7,000 experience. Big levels for Nyx, for Ember Spirit, and for Rubik. 3 heroes that really could use that. Kind of a rough fight for Fnatic in some ways, but it was a great sentry usage there. Dust usage by Newbee. They spotted the Nyx, but the Nyx did get a Spike Carapace off for the silence. They're going to try to contest this. It's going to be really close.
Oh my gosh, Kaka goes into the pit. The Dire get the Roche, and QO will find the Aegis. And it looks like this Night Stalker had the best of intentions, but won't be able to find anything. And Axe just tanky enough to live through that Frostbite and a couple right clicks from Faith. So good plan from Newbee, but unfortunately just not the right timing. And everyone's going to go Shrine up. We talked about this Ursa needing to maintain some really good momentum, and he got a great start. He's still top of the net worth chart, but that death and the fact that he no longer has the Roche, didn't get the Aegis, how's that going to affect him going forward?
I mean, the Aegis is definitely very helpful because you can play pretty aggressive and get kills. It's not the end of the world. They are still in a gold advantage, and they still have very good scaling potential. But Fnatic's burst seems very strong this game. And most of it seems centered around Ember Spirit with Axe and whatever DJ can steal. He grabbed overwhelming odds in the last fight and did a lot of damage with a couple nukes there. So seems like they're just maneuvering a little bit better than Newbee at the moment. And Newbee has a bit slower heroes, surprisingly, despite having the mobility of the Legion as well as the Ursa. The Fnatic's just initiating well.
Yeah, I mean, this Legion obviously had a fantastic start in lane, killing off QO a couple times in a row, showing off that new duel. She's got herself some damage, but I mean, how does she keep up the pace? Clearly in that last fight, it was her versus 4 heroes. She just kind of got surrounded and couldn't find anything.
I mean, she dueled the Nyx Assassin. The problem was that she got stunned as soon as she dueled him at the start, and then Axe blink called the other 2.
Speaking of duels, it looks like QO's old friend is back. Aegis going to be burned down, but they won't be able to lock him down a second time. He's just going to be running away. And ooh, he actually wants to get aggressive here. Searing Chains onto the Legion. Going to be forcing the TP. Ohio comes in. The call is there. They've got the lockdown now with Febby moving in. Oh, that's got to feel so good for QO to get that revenge.
Yeah, that was really good turnaround there. They instantly got there in time. To the benefit of Aegis. The hero's life, the amount of time it takes for him to respawn, and then going for him afterwards. So KP just needed to book way faster. Maybe even TP as soon as the Aegis was used, but maybe he got a little too cocky there, thinking that he could try to pressure and get a second kill. And they're going to lose the tier 2 tower as a result of this. Instantly, the Jug heads to the mid lane to try to trade with this, but we'll very shortly see a TP from Fnatic, unless they just want to go high ground.
They're ready to go. Fnatic, they got their momentum. They're starting to even out that net worth disparity, and they're going to force TPs of their own. Looks like Night Stalker heading back in. Crystal Maiden going to be coming forward. Fortify is used. Now they are going to use that Night Stalker Darkness, so he's a little bit spookier, but it's still looking good for Fnatic. They're getting a lot done. And Crystal Maiden doesn't have enough mana for her ult right now, so can't even start to zone with that freezing
He's using
field.
the Urn on the Axe as well, try to prevent him from blinking in, and they're going to have to back at this point. Got some really good damage in the tower, though. That wasn't all bad for them.
Is he going to go for a pick here? Is that just too crazy for the Ursa? He's still got half duration
It's
on that
just-
Invis rune.
Just waiting for the potential. This could save a Blink Dagger. Wait for one to TP, go for the Axe kill maybe.
Still going to be difficult. Looks like he's going to try for the Axe, but he gets juked there. A little ring around the rosy action. Now lift up. They're going to wait out that Ursa's Enrage, but Fnatic still have to book it as Night Stalker during that nighttime is coming at you. Now DJ, he's a little bit slower. Night Stalker super speedy, and DJ going to be running for the hills right now. He's trying to work his way out. There was already one impale from the Nyx to try to save him, but not going to be another one there, and that will be another duel victory for KP.
Very dead hero. Armlet paying off big time. Febby did try to save him. Doesn't work out though. And that'll be tier 1 in response due to their aggression.
Yep. This is Ursa keeping himself relevant, keeping himself spiraling up in net worth. He's still top of the chart. Troll Warlord, I mean, just casually sitting back, farming. Only has 1 kill to his name, but he's got the full Heaven's Halberd here. Didn't go for the S and Y instead.
Oh, he did. He just disassembled it.
He did,
and
but-
turned it into a halberd afterwards. It's kind of a cool choice. I mean, the evasion's decent. It's arguably better now because they kept nerfing the Solar Crest, and you just can't debuff the disable, which is amazing. It only lasts for 3 seconds against melees though, so it's not the best, but it can be really effective and a good way to shut down what Ursa's wanting to do. And Ursa's probably not even going to buy a BKB this game because the disables on Fnatic are there, but they're not the most like a BKB countered thing. They have to worry about Berserker's Call, like Troll Bash, things like that.
Ooh.
So.
Speaking of Berserker's Call, looks like Crystal Maiden's going to get the rough end there. Just gets completely splatted. You had Febby scouting out for more vision. He's going to be seeing Mugi move in towards that mid lane, but yeah, I mean, Fnatic, they're starting to even this out. It looked like Newbee was on this huge streak, but that push in bottom lane, a couple of really nice kills, and that last Roche fight was just such a big turning point.
Yep, and still a small gold advantage for the for the Radiant team. Excuse me. Like to see maybe Mugi get more active in team fights. He does end up dodging the Silver Edge, goes for a Diffusal first, and he's going to do a Shadow Blade afterwards. So this will just enhance their ability to kill the Ember Spirit basically, and get her on the map without getting spotted. So right now they pushed pretty well, I would say, just not insanely fast. It kind of requires like Juggernaut to auto attack Ursa to push waves, maybe Legion. They just don't have the best lane pusher. So I feel like Fnatic can do this like pressure lanes and to counter split push with Ember Spirit thing, and it's giving them a lot more space on the map and making it hard for Newbee to actually take fights. So it's a bit of a limitation of their draft here, even though their lane stage went really well.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every lane was really successful for Newbee. Roshan, still a while till we see when it spawns. How do Newbee keep themselves active here? Because they don't want to let this Ursa just trickle off. They don't want to take like a 90-minute game. They've got to do something. Is it just going to be based around Roche? Or are they going to be smoking and looking for picks? Because Fnatic are playing much safer than they were 10 minutes ago.
The easy one to do is just wait to see if Ember Spirit comes to a split push, and you do blink duels, which is pretty much what Legion's doing, farming jungle camps near the lane. If Ember doesn't show up, he just pushes them out eventually. So push lanes and look for those kinds of gank attempts is definitely the way they want to go here.
Well, Fnatic making it a little bit difficult. We'll see if Kyo's going to get caught here again. He is by his lonesome. This time initiating onto KP, but well, he may have to hop out. Yeah, and he will do so as he sees Kaka there. So push coming in from Fnatic, making some space bottom. Ember Spirit drawing some attention here. Mugi going to be grabbing up these next set of Ancients. Does have the Shadow Blade finish now, so something he's looking to debut in the next fight. It looks like Basher next up for him.
Basher's very good on that hero. Definitely very effective against heroes like Ember Spirit as well. He might be able to get a solo kill. Bashing Axe can help in some engagements too. But defending a tier 2 is just not what Newbee wants to do here. They don't feel very comfortable yet. They are very close to Night Stalker eggs. In fact, this might be it now. Yep, it is finished. So this is actually a pretty big advantage for them, especially if it's Darkness is used. If Vision is reduced against their opponents and they have Flying Vision and maybe a gem, they can definitely take a fight, and that's exactly what they're waiting for. Instantly going for the fight. Not even going to give Night Stalker mana. They're going to go initiate somewhere.
Straight in here. We'll see if they're going to find something. As again, Fnatic are sticking together. Not going to be a lot of solo stragglers, but Ohio in the Ancient Pit might be a nice, yummy kill for him. SCCC blinks forward. Ohio, not really a chance to react here as he's going to stay silenced up. Legion goes in for the duel onto the Troll Warlord, keeping him locked down for now. Febby isolating the Crystal Maiden, but she's living through the initial damage. Drops in a Sentry Ward, so no one's going to be invising out of there. They will be able to go and lock down the Troll. 3 heroes dead. right off the back of that Night Stalker Ags. What a pickup, getting Newbee that momentum back.
Yeah, and honestly, I like that they shaved off the mana. Screw the mana. Just get vision of somebody that's in a bad positioning.
Oh, QOTP gonna get canceled. He's not able to go back and defend his racks here. They're gonna bring in KP for the duel. Now, if they're gonna actually catch up with him here, he should be able to.
Might be able to outplay.
Yeah, QO getting so low. One more hit does take him down. Now he does have buyback. Can get himself back in the fight. Dire making a hold here, able to go and take out the Juggernaut. Juggernaut's got that buyback, but darn, Ohio falls as well. No buyback on the Axe. And we'll see if Newbee want to keep pushing their advantage here. They go in, but first hit bash from the Troll. Starting to whittle down SCCC. Silence comes up, and looks like that's going to be the end of the fight as enough Fnatic heroes are back in. Maybe waiting for the creep wave and see if they can start sieging again. Febby gonna get dueled here. He was low mana in the mid lane without a whole lot of backup. DJ getting slowed here. Diffusal Blade used, and they're gonna be chewing him apart. Buybacks come in from Fnatic. They're ready to go. They've got to take this fight successfully. QO moves forward. They've got the Crystal Maiden rooted in place. She's squishy. She will burn down. SCCC, very high value kill here. Glimmer Cape gonna wear out. He's got his blink back up in 8 seconds. Can they corner him off here? QO, 1 remnant left. Looks like he's not going to find the bear for now.
Yeah, he doesn't want to waste his mana or his disable just in case. That was okay for Fnatic, but definitely not good. I think Newbee definitely got the upper hand there. I mean, they won the fight leading up to it. They forced a buyback out of the Axe and the Ember Spirit as well. So, and Nyx Assassin.
They forced
too.
4 buybacks. It was only Rubik that didn't buy back.
So costly. Bad situation for Fnatic to be in. The game looked very under control, but all of a sudden, man, this Night Stalker Ags and a couple good moves, and Newbee is back on top in a big way.
Yeah, Fnatic struggling under the pressure now. They want to make a move towards the Roche, but with Crystal Maiden respawning, all of Newbee's ults ready, it's pretty tricky. Looks like they're grouping up, and they definitely want to make a hold for this. We're going to have probably another big 5-on-5 fight. Everyone just charging forward.
Febby is not going to be there, though. He does use a Midas. The Shadow Blade on the Jug made a big impact too. He hit the backline, killed Rubik instantly. There's no counterplay there. They're trying to bait their Nyx Assassin, I think.
Yeah, that was the kill last time. Febby let himself go. Now there will be a solo duel, but telekinesis up. They're trying to hold that Legion down, limit her damage. She's not going to finish that duel, and she will get killed off. Ajit still trying to fight, does get diffuseled up. Mugi wants to keep on going, but 2 heroes already dead on Newbee. There's a disarm onto this Troll. My goodness, it's getting bloody here. Ursa trying to fight here. Oh my goodness. That is going to be a burnt down Juggernaut. SCCC, he's going, he's taking everyone down with him, but gets bashed up here. It's a double searing chains. They are able to kill off everyone. It's just going to be Kaka here, but killed off on the cliff. That's a 5-man wipe, an ultra kill for QO, and there's no buybacks on Newbee. Suddenly, Fnatic turn this right back around in the Radiant's face.
There's no buybacks in this game at all. Fnatic on cooldown. Newbee doesn't have enough gold, but either way, great fight for them. Got very, very hairy there with the Ursa hitting the backline, but Troll got the bashes when he finally needed them, and they did lose Axe as well, but QO is finally at the point where he does very good damage. As long as he doesn't die the initial burst in the fight, he can be the annoying guy that's going to make it hard for Newbee's cores to be as effective in the moments afterwards. Like, you could really see how limited the Ursa was in the last bit of time. It basically all came down to the initial stun on the Legion Commander. Legion Commander continuously stunned prevented the Ember Spirit from killing himself on Blade Mail or due to Legion right clicks. And then the game was just pretty straightforward, or the fight was at least. Kill Legion, clean up the other heroes, the great double men call, that was big as well.
Yeah, I mean, suddenly Troll Warlord bringing a ton of damage into the fight, not as easily counted out as Newbee were hoping. And I mean, this Legion Commander, she's gone in for a couple of these Blink duel initiations, but hasn't found success in a while. I mean, she's struggling to really take these big fights, not just because Fnatic are so eager to respond. We saw as soon as she blinked in, DJ went for the lift.
Now, one big thing that KP messed up there is he didn't pop BKB before he dueled. If he would have done that, there wouldn't have been a stun that interrupts Legion Commander. It just would have been a straight-up fight. So small mistakes like that can actually matter a lot. But it was kind of an instant thing. He probably thought the Ember Spirit was by himself, so he thought just, whatever, get the duel over with, and maybe didn't prioritize the Black King bar as much. So, but he can't do that again, that's for sure, because it's going to have to be, somebody has to die at the start of the fight, pretty much for both teams. Both teams want to kill one guy and then work it out with disable advantage.
Big items coming out. We got Ember Spirit picking up his Lincoln Sphere. I mean, going to make it a little bit more difficult to go in for that duel. How are they going to pop that? I mean, how do they keep QO under control now? It seems like he's flying. He's found himself a ultra kill in that last fight, picked up the Radiance. He's still holding on to the Aegis. after getting...
It's actually not that hard. They've got 2 diffusal blades, both on Ursa as well as Jug. That's still procs on Lincolns. Legion Commander, a little bit harder. Force Staff can be good. A Halberd can be good for breaking Lincolns. So it's got to be somebody else now. So him actually getting duel off on the Ember, definitely more difficult than it used to be.
Radiant, they're going to scan. They feel like, you know, Dire's off the map. It's about to get weird, but there we go. This tower going down. Battle Trance committed, and there's nothing that Newbee can do about that. It's just going to be solo Mugi up top, maybe trying to drop some pressure onto the tier 3s, but he might have to go back and defend his base as QO is starting to lay in here. Crystal Maiden going to get gassed by that Sleight of Fist. There's the Lincolns popped, but immediate Remnant back to safety. No chances taken by Fnatic here. Looks like they're going to back off for now.
Okay, well, they'll play it safe, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, are Fnatic playing on a timer, or are they fine to just go and try to slow siege?
I don't think so. I think they're fine playing into the late game. I mean, Newbee's carries in the ultra late aren't... In some ways, they're better, and that Jug is going to scale very well, has good team fight, pretty much everything across the board is solid. Ursa's going to fall off a bit, but once it gets like Abyssal, it's kind of scary for him. But like, you definitely have to fear late game Ember Spirit, and it's not just because he's good in fights, but especially the split push ability between Remnant and Boots of Travel. That's the big tactical thing that makes it hard to play against Ember Spirit. Once that was discovered, Ember was like top hero right away. So got to worry about that, and they have to worry about the other split pushers. They have to worry about Invisible Nyx Assassin, whereas on Newbee's side, it's pretty much just Gem on Night Stalker with Ags as their vision game, and then they have to worry about duels, I guess. So it's both teams have interesting tools, and you just have to like find the best way to play around what your opponent has.
Yeah, you talked about that Abyssal on the Ursa. Right now he's going to be taking a detour, at least has the MKB queued up, trying to make this troll at least a little bit easier to lock down, because currently he's just swinging at nothing.
Not to mention the Axe also has a Heaven's Halberd, so Troll's got a mischance from the spin, the Axe spin, and he's also got the Halberd, so he actually really needs an MKB. And MKB is kind of an item that a lot of carries do not want to buy. You don't usually have the space to fit it in, so it could hurt Ursa's overall build, but it's a pretty good item. Does interrupt TPs and mini stun, so maybe it'll do something good.
Fnatic getting active, dropping that Battle Trance, immediate Fortify. They don't want to let any chip damage go down. Now Mugi is going to try to split push, but maybe needed here. QO moving forward, still at full health, gets the Searing Chains on that Maiden. She'll be freed up by the Legion Commander, but Legion still held in place. This tower burning low. Oh, they do get the lockdown on the Ember Spirit, though. He's still alive, still trying to fight. The duel goes forward onto the Axe. He's got the Blade Mail rolling. Currently no damage being done, and now eventually they do get the kill on the Axe. They burn the Aegis of the Ember Spirit, but Troll's still fighting. Troll's still moving up. There will be an Omni Slash split between the Wave and 3 heroes, and now Legion looks to be getting pretty low. Ajit finishes off that kill. Now Febby running for the hills. Carapace temporarily holds the Juggernaut back as Crystal Maiden going to be killed off by QO. Mugi now a little bit out of position here. They keep the vision up. They've got the sentry here. Very well placed. They go for a secondary duel.
No way.
That is a Rubik duel, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't believe he did that. That looks so dangerous. Just a little baby Rubik, but
he's got his teammates.
Through. Bonus 18 damage and a great stun. I mean, it's one way to guarantee the kill.
Right click a Rubik. I mean, taking advantage of the fact that Juggernaut walked underneath the sentry ward that Fnatic already had up, and now this set of racks, it's crumbling. Juggernaut down for a minute. And Legion Commander feeling like she can't initiate alone. She needs her whole team behind her. We saw it. There's a jump in. Looks like immediate. Again, Legion Commander doesn't beat KB. She doesn't have it, but still goes for the duel anyway. Lifted up. There's going to be the cheese eaten up. KP's so low. Just the armlet keeping him alive. The toggles are there. SCCC still fierce, still fighting, and gets a nice bash here onto the troll. He is going to try to run away, but does end up dead. Febby next to fall. Now KP with this armlet toggle. Going to be moving forward. Can't cancel that TP. Kaka instead trying to go and focus down at this Ember Spirit. And he's got no remnants left. Everyone on Newbee super, super low. Does QO actually live through this? They're going to bring back in Ohio, and it's a Culling Blade party. They're going to be burning down to that Radiance. Crystal Maiden dead in the grave for a minute. The only one with buyback is the Ursa, and he's got to spend it here. Either that or it's GG right now. This is getting feisty. Fnatic actually ended that fight really well with the Axe coming back in.
QO pulls out the gem as well, just barely before the courier snags it, so Gem taken to the dire side. That means Radiant shouldn't have one unless they've got another purchase up. So all around, just huge teamfight wins there for Fnatic. Another 5,000 gold up, and they got a Rax on the bot lane. With that said, Shrines are equivalent on both teams if they want to deal with them. Neither team has killed them yet, but both teams can kill the enemy Shrines. So game is getting kind of even. The bot advantage is going to be super solid, and Fnatic still has split push advantage from the Ember Spirit. But Newbee can still win this game. They just need to start really stomping fights.
Yeah, I mean, for all the blood, there is a little bit of lack of focus on structures here. Fnatic just doing a little chip damage to the tier 3, but I would definitely enjoy the equilibrium going in their favor. Now, Roshan going to be up in a couple of minutes, 5-8 minutes, so we'll see when that's going to be picked off. I mean, how important is the next Roche for this? Do both teams absolutely need it, or is it just kind of a luxury?
You saw that cheese last time. It absolutely effectively was a free life for the Troll Warlord. It's a big deal here. But killing Shrines is definitely the best thing they can do initially, because if they kill Shrines, get some good wards up, then they can take Roche pretty safely. They just have to wait till they know that Newbee's heroes are close to their base, and they can't take the time to run across the map and get to the Roche pit.
See the battle lines being drawn on the sand. Nyx Assassin leading the charge. They want to wrap around and initiate from this shrine, so take it out and then move on in and try to go for the suffocate maneuver. Now, Radiant Vision, they've got this dire jungle warded up so sufficiently, but they certainly can't leave their base right now.
So farming it is for now. Ursa's going to go the standard 14 to all stats build, just to up his HP, because staying alive is the big call that he has to worry about here.
And everyone's
trying to bait
squaring
things
off.
out.
Right across the river. Looks like Newbee will back for now. Do not want to get caught with their pants down, but they're going to lose their secondary shrine.
Troll's getting really close to the Scotty as well. Once he picks that up, he's going to have a huge mobility advantage over his opponents, and also be able to reduce their attack speed, which would be huge. They also make it the Whirling Axis cooldown. I've seen a lot of trolls go for, maybe not a lot, but I've seen some trolls grab the 20% magic resistance, which is very good against a lot of heroes late game. But this game, honestly, the Whirling Axis cooldown could be really effective. That's like permanent blind on your opponents.
Yeah.
Bonus damage, permanent, maybe not permanent slow for the first Axis. I don't know what the cooldown on those are, but this could be the way to go. And they're actually just going to ditch Roche. They don't care. They're going to pressure mid a little bit.
I mean, it's something they can take if they end up going for some slow siege and eventually backing off. But yeah, for now, all they want to do is force Newbee to starve. Newbee now completely huddled up. QO gets the chains on him. There is going to be the impale onto the Ursa. They bring him down to half health. The duel comes in onto the Nyx. And this time there's the BKB, so they can't telekinesis him up. They lose the Nyx. That means no more impales in this fight. Crystal Maiden going to be rooted in place. They do end up getting the Ember Spirit back to safety. Currently, Fnatic, they're all still up and healthy. Spare that Nyx Assassin. Wanting to go and continue to pressure here. The break comes forward. Ember Spirit might be in some trouble, but still doing so much damage. Kaka goes down fighting. Meanwhile, Ursa outside the base is going to get halberded up. There is going to be the Crystal Maiden ult, but Faith burning so low to the radiance of QO. That poor girl, she's just so fragile. Now buybacks coming out. They are going to bring Moogie back forward, and that's going to be huge if they get this Ember kill. They will be able to do so. He's got buyback. Ursa locked down, though. Oh my gosh, just perma-bash there. Ajit going ham, and it looks like they want to start focusing structures. And there's a buyback from Ursa, but it's only Ursa and Jug left to fight. Ember Spirit did commit his buyback. He's back in here with those Boots of Travels. Fortify spent out from Newbee, but it looks like this is a second set of racks going in. They just don't have supports. They don't have a way to initiate into this wad of damage.
Yeah, they did their best in that fight. They got a good duel off that helped the Nyx Assassin go down, but other than that, it feels like Legion Commander's not really turning hero kills into the rest of the teamfight wins here. Even like CM feels kind of worthless.
Oh, Ursa's going straight forward. He's holding onto that Enrage for now. He is going to get taunted here, held in place by the axe. SCCC potentially in trouble, gets bashed up. Ajit just going at him. Meanwhile, Moogie can be rooted in place, does get off a nice Blade Fury. Now Faith coming in. Now again, she's so fragile. QO going to take care of her. On the back lines, DJ still up and fighting. There will be Troll Warlord getting low. Oh no, it's looking like GG, and it will come out for Newbee. Game 1 goes the way of Fnatic. Newbee, they had such strong lanes. What went wrong?
It really just came down to the split push from Ember Spirit. It gave Fnatic a lot of space on the map, which led to them getting kills here or there. They had a couple really huge moves where they would always punish Newbee when Newbee would go for ganks. Like some of the dual kills in the late game that they turned around were really amazing. And then Newbee had a